Good afternoon, my name is Ryan Hall, I'm the Station Commander in Fire Safety. This afternoon we want to do a demonstration to show you how to make your gas barbecues safe this summer. Already so far this year we've attended 9 gas barbecue incidents alone. What we want to do is we want to bring that number right down. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate just how simple the soapy water test is and looking for leaks along our gas components from the cylinder all the way through to the barbecue. Afternoon. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're looking at the cylinder here. For one, it's in storage as well. During the times when you're not using it, make sure that the dust cap goes on there, because the gathering of dust, if you weren't to keep that clean or clear, always have a quick check before you connect your regulator, because when you turn it on and pressurise it, the dust is going to end up in the pipework, which again is just another risk or hazard you're going to put into there. In particular, in this barbecue, we have a screw thread regulator. There's 2 types which you'll see quite commonly in Jersey, one being the screw thread and another being a push fit. We're going to talk about the screw thread one because this is the one that poses more risk or dangers to us, simply because the components it has and how it might not be correctly fitted. On this one has a rubber seal which is going to help give a better connection to the cylinder and avoid the leaks of gas. Once the regulator is in place, what we want to do is check all of our components to make sure that they are fit for purpose. Okay, so now we have our regulator fitted. What we want to do is make sure it's nicely tight, particularly on this one it's a hand tight fit. If it was the spanner fit, then we need to make sure that it's done sufficiently. Before we actually charge our gas cylinder, we need to make sure that all our controls on the barbecue are in the off position before we charge it. Now that we confirm that things are all off, we can now charge our cylinder. For the soapy water test, what we want to do now with the soapy water solution and the sponge, we want to liberally coat all around the regulator and the manifold, all the connections and across all the pipework where the gas will flow. And the reason why we're doing this, we're looking at bubbles forming along the pipework and also up into the back and underneath of the gas barbecue where it comes into the injector. So now we're just looking for that visual inspection. So looking back from our regulator, following around the pipework to all the connections. And it's also important that when we look at the connections that they are in good working order as well and they haven't rusted over time. Looking back all the way up to the injector, there are no bubbles forming there. So now that we've checked our gas assemble and we're happy that that's safe, we're almost good to go. One thing we should also do is check the cleanliness of our barbecue, making sure that the tray is not full of grease and fats from time from cooking. One other tip which we could advise is lining that base with foil and putting a layer of sand. That's going to help absorb that fat and grease, which will make it a lot harder for it to ignite. One thing we have seen this year on a couple of the fires we've attended, actually the fire didn't start at the gas cylinder or part of any of its components. What we saw was, or found out, is it's the build-up of the grease and the base of the barbecue that has ignited. Once that's ignited, it's the flame then that's been impinging on the pipework underneath. Once that had ruptured, the gas has become involved, therefore fueling the fire. Once that gas becomes involved, you'll see then that flame increase, therefore like the barbecues we attended on the weekend, a large jet of flame. Until we then make that safe by controlling the gas, that's where we remind people and the reasons why we ask for barbecues to be sited not near properties or near fences. As a rule of thumb, we're recommending a minimum distance of 6 feet away from a building or a fence or any kind of structure. If cooking on decking, what we don't want to see is those fats dripping onto the decking and causing that to catch light as well. So a good safety tip would be to get a couple of paving slabs to put underneath your barbecue to absorb that, or again by sand. Instead of turning off at the controls, what we recommend is coming straight back to the cylinder and closing it down from there. Reason being is, when it's now closed, it will purge the system and drain all the gas through the pipework and all the regulators, so then you know it's all safe, so there's no residual build-up of gas. Once the flame has then gone out, we can then close our controls and allow our barbecue to cool. Enjoy your barbecue, keep the flames in the grill.